you have, just remember what you learned last year.
But that kind of helped me with writing essays for visual culture, which is very similar to media analysis. And that kind of recap sort of give me, because I have to, we have to sort of do the recap on the first year theory for media analysis, which you can also apply to visual cultures very often. And, it gives you a wider range of theory you can use in second year.
So it helps you articulate your ideas better.
Yeah, I think it helps not necessarily just in visual cultures, but in general, because it helps your learning experience. Because every week, when we have the seminars, you're reminded of the fundamentals in any sort of analysis. So, which is always helpful, because sometimes you know them, but you forget to articulate them in an essay or when you have an argument with someone. So, no, not an argument, like a debate. And I find it really useful, because it reminds me of certain stuff that I knew last year. I still know, but I was just like they're in the back of my mind. I don't really think about them properly. So yeah, I think that helps. But not just in one particular module, just in general.
Okay. And I know that they do have like courses, like you also said that before, in the SLA scheme. Have any of you guys, besides him, been to any of those courses?
I mean, they have follow-up training, right? I think that
Which
that's
is
one.
like time management or like the essay writing courses that are offered.
I've been to
The essay writing, that's from the LDU, though, right?
No. That was from I think it was like 2-3 months ago. December.
Yeah, they did like a follow-up if you wanted
Yeah, the follow-up, but
And there was one about helping.
there was one on notes taking, there was one on presentation, one on time management, and another.
I booked 3 of them, but I only attended one because I couldn't make the activity.
I've been to these 3, but I don't know what the last one
I
was.
don't know anything about this because I only started in Jan, so
Okay. And the one that you went to, what did
That was helping students improve their skills in academic writing, something like that. It was about academic writing an essay.
Ina, did you go to any of them?
Yeah, I went to the time management one, which I'm sorry, but I didn't find useful at all. Like at all, not even a bit. I was just not gonna waste my time. Which is, ironic, because this was a time management training. And the note-taking one, which was, I guess, kind of useful, but I take notes, so I didn't necessarily feel the need for someone telling me how to take notes. And then the last one was the presentation follow-up training, which was actually really good and useful. And I mean, not just for me to how to help them do their presentations, but how to do my presentations.
Thank you guys, that was a wonderful discussion. What's the last question? Or not?
So, if you want to kind of recap our general question,
How does being an SLA in Med 1000 influence your employability skills for a future in the media field?
I think it helps with employability skills in general, like we discussed in the earlier question about confidence, time management, like being reliable and stuff like that.
And I
But
think
to transfer those skills, like specifically to the media, I mean, those skills that I mentioned would help, but like, I don't know how to explain it.
It would help in the media field, like if you wanted to be a teacher in the media field, but like for example, I wanted to work in advertising, and it wouldn't really, like confidence and all that would kind of help me, but it's not like really related to it. So it'd give me skills like like time management, employability skills, but not like directly.
I think it still would apply to even to advertising, because you get to, I mean, the best thing that you get out of the job is communication skills, first of all. And then you get to work with teams, either, small teams or big teams, which in advertising I believe you do. I mean, what if you have to manage a team?
No, yeah, I mean,
It's what you
it
do
does,
as an
but like,
SLA.
for example, like I like the creative side, like for example, graphic design. So it's not helping me in skills with computers and doing that. So like I understand when you say it helps you with employability for the media, and if you want to be a teacher or if you want to be like, I don't know, like PR, it'll help you loads because you have to give presentations and be upfront, but like where I want to do it personally, it's more like behind the scenes, so it's not that I don't know, just not completely correlate, like, I don't know.
And I guess it also boosts your confidence in a way that once you graduate and you apply for a job that you want, you have something in your CV that says that you were actually one of the top students.
Yeah.
Which, you know, I guess an employer would like to see that in your CV.
Anything else?
So, in relation to that, do all of you feel that having this on your CV is gonna, be a good employment skill basically for the future? Or do you think they know what it is even, or is
It doesn't. It might not be crucial. It might not be the key point in your CV, but it's better to have it rather than not.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure it can't harm you anyway. So the only thing that it can do is either nothing or something good.
No, but I think saying that you worked for the university and the university actually wanted you to work with other students does help a lot, and it's actually quite a key point because people now, instead of seeing the grades you get, would rather see that you're good and approachable, and they want to see that you do different things, and that the university actually has had the idea of getting you to help with other students. It's not just because of your grades, it's because they've also seen you in class that you're like an approachable person, or like easygoing and can work with other people and in groups and things like that. So
And more I know, a lot of employers nowadays they want to see not your final grade but the grades throughout the 3 years. And the fact that we SLA for the first year might tell them that we were actually good from the very beginning.
I was going to say that, like, personally, I haven't joined any societies in the first year or the second year. This is the first uni thing I've done. And I think without that platform, I feel like my involvement into uni life and not just into my course wasn't as much. So, like, I'm glad that I've done this SLA thing, and I think it will help because I don't want to have, do you know what I mean, like, nothing on my CV. And so having this is like, oh, she's done something, and it's kind of going towards the career she wants to go to.
So for leadership skills, do you think that's something, in particularly in media, do you think that's something that the SLA scheme has kind of helped you gain?
I don't think you need to be a leader, like to be an SLA. I think it's completely the opposite. It's like you have to be on the same page as them, so you have to be at the same level because we're all students, because we aren't leaders or anything. So it's not really. I don't think it helps with leadership
Yeah, I agree
skills.
with that.
You know what, I think it depends on the course. If this is biology or, another science course where they actually do the proper drop-ins, where they help them, like, I've always said that with our course, it's, you can do drop-ins and stuff, which no one turns up to, but it's such a, not a self-explanatory course, but it's very well planned out in that sense that in biology or, chemistry or something, there's more opportunity for drop-ins because people there's more stuff like equations and all of these things behind the scenes that they need. So it's like, in that sense, you get the leadership skills. In our one, it's kind of, because we're kind of just listening to the teacher, and we get up and we help and stuff. But we can't change their lessons, so.
Has it, when I think of the media field, I think of it more as like group work. Like there's creative directors, like artistic people, the copywriter. Do you guys feel like that you work better in groups now, or you can take in other people's opinions better? Because some people can work in groups and they want to overpower the whole group and they don't like anyone else's opinion. Do you guys feel like you're comfortable working in groups and sharing opinions?
Yeah, one thing that they taught us in a first training was it's called active listening. Yeah, so that definitely applies.
research question? And is that it? Oh,
Yeah.
okay,
Yes.
One thing that might apply to it is that in media you need to build connection, you need to know people, and by being an SLA you get to know a big number of first year students that if you have a good relation with, after they graduate, they might hope you'll get a job. You never know, it's life, full of surprises, so one day you might just apply for media, for a job in the media industry, and you will see your student that you were SLA for.
But I also think it helps that you kind of get to see lecturers from a different perspective because you work with them. You're not the student in this particular scenario. You're not the student, so you don't take in you do, but you don't have to. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be a student here. In this case, you actually work with them, so you have a different relationship with them, and it helps. I think it helps build your network.
Yeah, because I feel like I've talked to Stefan a lot more. Like he taught us in this year for the leaflet making and then those things, which I personally didn't think his lesson was that useful because I already kind of knew those things. But the things he was talking about, and I know some of his history things are well on point, but some of the other things he said after the lesson and other things he does outside personally and stuff that could actually help me. I was like, oh, this is so good. I wouldn't have done this if I wouldn't have known this if I was an SLA. So in that sense, I do agree with you. That relationship, working with teachers is so helpful. I found it helpful working with them.
And you also get to see the differences between each lecturer. We were in the research group, and I get to see how Beth works and Nella works, and it's you think it's the same module and they have the same program, but they have completely different approaches to students, which is very interesting to
Yeah, I
see.
think that's a big dynamic in media jobs. Media is internationals everywhere. As a group, I think our dynamic is okay, but some people don't really understand group dynamics. So you guys do think it improves your understanding of group dynamics?
Yes.
Yeah.
And if not, even if it doesn't necessarily improve your group dynamic and how to handle working with a group better, this might sound awful, but it helps you simulate, you understand. So that helps you as well. Is that all?
Yeah, I think so. Unless you want to add something else, anything else that you think is not being treated in this discussion, if you want to share feelings or anything, more than welcome to do so. If not, thank you for your contribution and see you guys soon.
Thank you. Oh, that was so good, guys.